Hello, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna talk about homeostasis in physiology, animal and human. So we're gonna talk about the homeostasis in both animal and human cell, which is they are exactly the same, but they are different adaptation. So first of all, what is homeostasis? When we talk about homeostasis basically is the ability to maintain an internal point. That means you have a set of point like temperature. If we talk about temperature, you have to maintain 37 roughly to 38 between them. So this is, we call it a set of point. We call this set point. Set point is that mean a point that is the basic, the initial one that you don't want to go below it or you don't want to go above it. So if your temperature, let's take to just ignore 38. Let's talk about 37 Celsius. This is your internal body point. Why is this 37? Why you need this? Because of enzymes, because of many biochemical reaction. So because of many biochemistry, because your biochemistry, your enzyme, your protein work perfectly in 37. If it's above than 37, there's a problem. If it is less than 37, it's a problem. So it's either above or below 37, there will be a problem inside your body. So homeostasis idea basically to maintain this 37 in order of temperature. There is many things in homeostasis, but as an example, we talk about a temperature. So 37 is a temperature. So let's talk it about here. If it's above 37, then your body have to lower your temperature to be 37. And if it is below 37, your temperature must make it higher to be 37 Celsius, exactly 37, as we say, because it's very important in proteins, in enzymes, in many biochemical reaction. So homeostasis actually is very, very, very important. As an example, imagine that you have a house. This is your beautiful house. I'm not really perfect in drawing, but imagine that's your house, okay? The electricity, okay, or it's again just like that, the light, electricity in your house is being broken. You will leave it like that? You will leave your house just broken light without light in dark? No. What you will do is basically you will fix it either by go call anyone in the mobile phone or you are with your own self. You're gonna go and fix this. So you will not make it like this. So you maintain the house electricity. So if it's broken, you will fix them. So you are maintaining your house electricity or your house lighting. Your body is doing the same, but in very precise and in very different way. We talk first example about the temperature. So the temperature of your body must be 37. If it's go above than that, it must be lowered, and if it's go below that, it must be higher until it reach 37. So this is the first example. So very important to know how homeostasis work and what is the important. Now let's talk about the homeostasis and how homeostasis actually works and the types of homeostasis. The first type is conformer. What we mean by conformers? Now basically conformers that mean from its name confirm. When you call someone, okay, we gonna go out today to the cinema, you confirm. You confirm that mean you have only one choice. You are confirming. That means yes, I am coming with you to the cinema. So you are confirmed. So only you have one choice, which is to go to the cinema because you confirm. So confirmer only have a fix. That means no change in their internal points. That means the internal points, the temperature, they do not change. So, as an example, we have some type of fish. Okay, this is a beautiful fish like swimming here. And this example, it's not marine example, it's a freshwater fish which is swimming here. The temperature of the, like this in an example in Amazon, this temperature of water example is 22 Celsius as an example. The fish internal will be 22 Celsius. They will be the same, they are matching. But if you take this fish, okay, an example, we have another fresh water, and this fresh water is as example 15 Celsius, and you take this fish here, okay, and you take this fish here, let's say this fish, and you move it to here. This fish actually will not survive. Why? Because you cannot adapt in very cold environment. Example is not 15, it's like 5. It cannot be it will not be survived. Why? Because actually should be dead. Because it only have one internal point. If its temperature 22, it will be fixed at 22 Celsius. It will not change. So that's why we talk about the conformers. So basically, conformers is that they are confirmed their internal point, so they do not change. The other type is avoiders. What is avoiders? Avoiders is basically the same here, but as an example, we have a bird. You know, we have a bird. So this bird actually, they have a internal point. As an example, they have a temperature fixed at let's say 32 Celsius. And as an example, what will happen? In you know, they have like on the trees, they sitting here on the trees, very beautiful. You see a bird here. They have like this is must be a bird. So this bird actually, what will happen is, you know, in very nice weather, the weather is like very beautiful weather, like it's not neither hot nor cold. So this one we call it a very nice weather. But in some time, you know, in summer, what will happen in the summer, the temperatures actually increases. So what do is this bird actually migrate to other place that have a very nice weather or less temperature than this. So they go or migrate to the nice weather than rather than when they are on it. So what will happen is they will be migrate. So they are avoid, from the name avoiders, they are avoiding the high temperature by migrating to other place. Same example when they want to lay egg or anything. Basically, there's many examples for homeostasis. But for the avoiders, you have to know that they are avoid the place. They are avoiding the place. And the most advanced one is the regulators. Now, who are regulators? We are regulators, and many advanced animal like vertebrate and another some types of animals, they can regulate. What's the meaning of regulate? We are having a 37 Celsius temperature. If like the weather is very hot, what will happen is, if the weather is very hot, what will happen is we gonna what? Sweat. We gonna sweat. So we gonna sweating. Why? Because the weather is very hot. But imagine that the weather is cold. This one is ice. The weather is very cold. What will happen is basically all of these sweating will go. Instead, we will have what? Like you gonna what, rush, your muscles gonna be contract. Why they gonna contract? Because when you contracting your muscles, so example, this is a muscle, so your muscles gonna be contracting. Why contracting muscles? Because when you contract, actually you're producing heat. When you contract muscle, you're producing heat. So therefore, you're gonna regulate your temperature. You will not avoid them by going into other place. Your body actually can withstand and can handle this, but basically the temperature If it's cold, you will contract your muscles, and if it's too hot, basically you're gonna swell, so that evaporating of the water on your skin make the surrounding is colder, or make your skin colder, and you feel cold way in very hot and summer ways. Now, if we're gonna see here a general view, so we have a like region. First of all, the control center. The control center, as we know, we have a central nervous system, CNS. So the central nervous system basically is the control center. You know, in some company there's a control center that take the decision. So if I have a company, okay, if I have a company, example, we have a very large company, we have a control center. Control center basically is the leader who say the commands. So control center make what? Make the commands to other body or to another cells or tissues. As you can see here, we have the effectors. What is the effector? Basically, from its name, it affect. So basically, we are affecting on nerve cell. So we call the nerve cells make impulses to go to the effector, and response by feedback. We call this feedback loop. All of these are feedback loop. So we have a receptor. Receptor is basically a stimulus. So as we can see, either by very hot or a very cold weather. So this is a stimulus. So you must have a stimulus. If you don't have a stimulus, then how your body will respond? So you must have a stimulus. This stimulus must be affecting on the sensor. What is the sensor? The sensor could be skin, could be your eyes, could be your ears, could be any receiving. So stimulus effect on the sensors. You know, you have many sense organ. You have eye, you have skin, you have ears, you have like your in your tongue, in your mouth, you have all of these receptors. So when they are recepting these, they are censoring. So stimulus, first of all, stimulus, then they are affecting on what? They are affecting on the sensors. So sensor receive the information from the stimulus. Then they will take this information to the central nervous system. Now central nervous system will say, oh, what we have, is it cold? Is it hot? What we gonna do? So here, it's cold weather. So the central nervous system, the operator, the one that takes the decision, oh, this is very cold weather. So we have to rise the temperature to make it 37 or between them. So we have to rise the temperature. So what will happen is basically the control center here will give the command to the cells, to the effector. What is the effector? The effector, the organ that they affect this. So as we can see, what is this? This is basically a muscle. So this muscle's basically gonna what? Gonna contract. Why contracting? To produce more ATP, to produce more heat. So when when they are rushing, by contracting, producing more heat, you will feel a little bit warmer. So this is how they work in the very cold weather. In the hot weather, they actually opposite, the same. You must have a stimulus, you must have a sensor, you must have a control center, and you must have an effector. These are very important thing that you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 things must be having, so you can have a homeostasis, maintaining internal point. So you have to maintain internal point. Okay, what if there's no homeostasis? Let's example say there's no homeostasis. Homeostasis is absent. Basically, it will be very difficult for you and for mammalian or any other organism to live, because it's very difficult to maintain many biochemical reaction, to maintain enzyme, to maintain protein folding, and many complex things inside your body. As we know, in homeostasis, we must have what? We must have a feedback, which is the response. So we must have a feedback. Who give the feedback? The control center. So the control center give the feedback. The feedback in homeostasis, we say the feedback. You know, when you go like you are perching, is an example, you are having your very beautiful, burger here. There is salad here, oh, beautiful burger. This one is your burger, okay? So when you eat burger, and in the restaurant, the actually the customer center, you will tell you, give us your feedback, right? They want your feedback. So how's the burger taste? Is it good or is it bad? So your feedback will be either positive or negative. So it will be positive, you'll say, yummy, it's very nice burger. It was very delicious. The burger, the meat, the beef, the cheese was perfect. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10. Or it will be a negative. The burger was cold. It's not fresh. It's not as I ordered. So it's either positive or negative. The same in the homeostasis. The feedback either can be positive feedback, so it can be either positive feedback or negative feedback. Okay, what is that? If it's positive feedback, if it's positive feedback, that's mean you are go in the same direction. What does that mean? Okay, see, now when you positive your feedback, of course you're gonna order another burger. You're gonna take from this restaurant many times because they're actually very delicious. But if your feedback is negative, you say, oh no, this restaurant, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna ignore the restaurant. The same exactly what happened here. Example of positive feedback is the pregnancy. First of all, what happened? Let's go from the number one. The head of the fetus push against the cervix. So this is the cervix. This one, what is this one? Is the cervix, This is the head of the fetus. So the head of the fetus, when it's touch the cervix, actually the cervix send an impulses, electrical impulses. As we know, the nerve cells actually, they go all the way here, where? To the brain. They must go to the central nervous system, where? To the brain. So the commander, they will give the command, okay, I receive this. What I'm gonna do? I have to take a decision. You don't take the decision, but the brain do this. So brain will go, oh, my command is go to the pituitary gland and secrete oxytocin. What's actually oxytocin will do? Oxytocin will increase the contraction and the blood stream to the uterus. So oxytocin stimulates uterine contraction in addition to blood stream into uterus and push the fetus toward the cervix. So what will happen is basically here it will be contracting, pushing the fetus down, which will give us a baby ejection. So the baby ejection basically doing by all these, which is positive feedback. Why? Because it touch, you say the baby won't go out, the brain take decision, oh, the baby won't go out, and we want to make them going out. So in the same direction, positive, in the same direction, we want to push it. So it just initially pushed out. It's already pushed out, but when positive feedback, we pushed it out furthermore. So that's why we call it a positive feedback. Let's talk about the negative feedback. So we talk about the positive feedback. Let's talk about the negative feedback. The negative feedback is actually common the most common. Now, positive is a little bit rare, so you don't find it in like various places in your body, but it is there. But negative feedback is the most common one, in temperature, in pH, in acidity, in alkalinity, in many regulatory, in your calcium, in your potassium, in your biochemical reaction. You actually most of the time use negative feedback. As previously we talked about temperature, these are a negative feedback. So negative feedback is basically something go this, you go in the other direction. Temperature increases, so let's take example of temperature increases, you will decrease the temperature. You will not go in the same direction as positive. If like acidity increases, you will lower the acidity. Okay, so you make them like we want them like your blood. Okay, your blood. Your blood's actually the pH of blood is how much? Is about 7 point something. Let's say 5 or 0.3. So the pH is 7.3. So we have to maintain this pH. So basically, if acidity go up, we have to bring it down until it reaches 7.3. And if it's go below 7.3, we have to push them out until it reach 7.3. And we have something, we call them buffers. Buffers is they do this job in positive and negative feedback. And there's actually now there is many person here. You actually gonna get panic when you see maybe this image, but these are all a homeostatic, like take anything from here. As an example, take anything like this below set point. We have adrenal cortex, aldosterone releasing or causes like hypothalamus, referring to regulates the what the antidiuretic hormone or the ADH, higher reabsorption in the kidney, in the tubule, alpha cell of Langerhans, stimulus. All of these are connecting each other. Basically, the physiology is homeostasis, and homeostasis is the physiology. Here are some positive feedback that you can actually take a look. You can take a screenshot of this footage. Uh, that's all about the explanation about homeostasis and introduction. Hopefully, guys, that help you in your biology or in your physiology courses. This is a very basic introduction. If you like this kind of video, please tell me so I can go further in physiology or in even molecular or cell biology or chemistry or anything in science that you love. Actually, I explain it on my way in very interesting, like in this typing teaching way. Actually, I will be very happy to explain to you. Just below in the comment, told me whatever thing you want in the sciences, so I can explain it to you. Thank you very much. Hopefully, guys was interesting. See you in the next video.